The ideas expressed in the following presentations are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of ACI or its committees. ACI web sessions are recorded at ACI conventions or other concrete industry events and will be made available for viewing free of charge for 1 week. Thereafter, they will be archived on the ACI website or added to ACI's online CEU program, depending on their content.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the fresh look at cementitious materials and admixtures. Our first speaker today, who's going to be talking to us about the first half of an overview of all the E701 documents, is Larry Sutter. Larry is a professor of material science and engineering at the Michigan Technological University. He's director of the Michigan DOT Transportation Materials Research Center at Michigan Tech. His areas of specialty include concrete durability and materials characterization. He's a member of EAC and numerous other ACI committees. He's secretary of Committee 232 Fly Ash. He's also an active member of the ASTM committees C1 and C9, including chair of the subcommittee on supplementary cementitious materials. Larry?
So as Dave indicated, I'm just going to try to give you an overview of the 701, really of the EAC documents and the 701 documents, just kind of set the stage for the other speakers to be coming up. Most of us come to ACI with a technological mission, I guess, for lack of a better word. We like to go to the sessions and hear cutting-edge research, and we participate in the various committees and help formulate documents and specifications and so on. But really, if you go back and look at what ACI is about, right from the very beginning, and you look at the bylaws, as I show you here, the very beginning of the bylaws, the purpose of the Institute shall be to further engineering and technical education. And then it goes on about scientific investigation and research and development of standards and so on. So education is at the heart of what ACI does, and I think that many of us lose track of that over the course of getting involved in all the other things that we do here, and it's easy to lose track of that. The education activities of ACI are organized underneath the Educational Activities Committee, the EAC, and the mission for the EAC, as shown here, is it's responsible for the academic and practical educational programs, including educational publications that we're going to be talking about today, and for supervision of education committee activities and for increasing the Institute's effectiveness in the field of education. So many of you are familiar, again, with the technical committees and TAC that oversees the technical committees. The analog is EAC, which oversees the educational committees. And I became aware of EAC and the educational committees kind of, it certainly wasn't at the beginning of coming to ACI. I came to ACI for many years. And finally, I had a presentation on a Sunday afternoon, which caused me to have to come in on a Saturday. And so I had Sunday morning free and nothing to do. And I started going through the book, looking for what was happening Sunday morning. And I saw this committee, E701 Materials for Concrete Construction. I didn't know what it was. So I'd never heard of the E committees. And so I went to the meeting. I was just really amazed that all this activity was going on at ACI on the educational documents. And I really wasn't aware of it at all. And so I became involved with the E701 committee and later with EAC. And I think it's really, for many of you, if you're looking for another way to get plugged into ACI, it's a very different aspect. It's a different look at what ACI does. As you can see here, there's 6 different committees underneath EAC, E701, which I'm involved with, Materials for Concrete Construction. E702, designing concrete structures, and then concrete construction practices, and so on, repair application, specification education, and training. So if you think about the technical activities of ACI, and you think about then the correlating educational activities, they're all really organized under these various committees. Today we're going to be talking about some new documents that are coming out of E701, Materials for Concrete Construction. Each of these committees really has a different kind of flavor of documents. The E701 documents, I guess my interpretation of them are they tend to be more educational, more general information, I guess I should say. They're all educational, but it's really just background information, general information about concrete and concrete materials. The EAC documents in general, as you look at across all the various committees, as Dave had mentioned at the start, are really targeted at students, craftsmen, inspectors, engineers, contractors. They're designed to take the information that our technical committees have developed over the years and get it into a form where we can deliver it and get it in the hands of practitioners so that they can use that information to make better concrete. They're not as detailed as technical committee documents are. That's not to say that they're not detailed. They are very detailed, and there's a lot of information, a lot of technical information. But whereas in technical documents, you may see a lot of drilling down on what's being done in research and referencing research papers and so on. In these documents, there's a little bit less of that and a little bit more of the interpretation of, well, what's it mean and how can you really use it to do your job better. They're certainly not intended to be state-of-the-art reports. Again, that's the job of the technical committees. And they're not intended to be a literature review. I mean, there's certainly a lot of information that's out there that maybe doesn't make its way into the documents. But they are, again, based on the literature. They are based on the state-of-the-art knowledge of the subject. So they are, they represent that body of information. I always tell people they kind of give you the 30,000-foot view. I mean, it's not, you're not drilling down to the detail of every aspect, but you're looking at the big picture, whether it be cement production or admixtures or whatever it is. I use them a lot with students. It's a great way to get students started on the subject. You hand them one of these e-documents, and it just gets them a good general background from which they can then go pick up the various technical documents that they need and begin building on more and more information. But it's just a great starting point. They have a definite practical and applied bent to them. Particularly, there's documents like the Contractor's Guide for Quality Concrete Construction, clearly geared towards the contractor. Very practical, applied information for how to produce better quality concrete. So the E701 documents, there's 4 of them, and they're listed here, and their bulletin number along with it. Aggregates for concrete. That was recently updated in 2007. Reinforcement for concrete materials and application. That is in the process of being updated. We are going through the ballot process on it now. Hopefully, intend to have an updated document ready very soon. And then the 2 documents that we're going to hear about today, the Cementitious Materials for concrete was approved just recently here in 2013. And chemical admixtures for concrete approved in 2012. So these documents have been updated. We've gone, as I said previously, you go back to the technical documents, you take the information, it's in those technical documents, you distill it down, get it into a delivery form that you can get it out to the practitioners and generate these documents. So it does represent the state-of-the-art information, if you will. So with that, I would be happy to take any questions about the documents in general.
All right, thanks, Larry.
Yep.